Welcome, everyone, to the show. Today, we are so honored to have Morgan Valkar, who is a graduate and an associate vice provost of the Western Region and International Recruitment of one and only Lehigh University. Morgan is a key leader at Lehigh, where she executes and surpasses enrollment goals for the Western Region of the U.S. and internationally for the university. She grew up in Las Vegas, Nevada, and is a first-gen college student as well. And she decided to go to the East Coast, to Lehigh University, where she got her bachelor's degree in social psychology, Asian studies, which led her to continue her studies in Chinese culture and Mandarin at Shanghai Jiao Tong University. She also is a college athlete for women's volleyball. She has done so much. And also, she is a new grad mentor for one of my favorite scholarship programs in the Bay Area, Students Rising Above. Welcome to the show, Morgan.
Thank you. And thank you for the awesome introduction. I appreciate it. It's great to be here with you.
Yeah, well, you did all the awesome stuff. I mean, tell me about what got you interested in Chinese culture. I know you've done a lot of internships in the UN, too.
Yeah. So what initially got me interested probably was a little bit of my high school experience. I was surrounded by a lot of Asian culture in Las Vegas, and a lot of my friends were from various Asian countries. And when I got to college, I naturally sort of gravitated to wanting to learn more, and specifically wanting to learn Mandarin, which is something that a lot of my friends' parents would speak. And then that just sort of led to continuing to want to learn more, and opportunities that brought me to China a number of times.
Well, your resume is impressive, but let's learn about some of this other fun stuff so our listeners can know the amazing Morgan that I know of. So what was one of the best experiences you had at Shanghai Jiao Tong University?
Oh, one of the best experiences there, I think, was definitely doing language exchange with a lot of folks. So while I was there to learn Mandarin, a lot of people want to speak English with you there, which can sometimes make it difficult to learn. So you have to sort of arrange an agreement that, okay, we're going to do exchange. You know, I'm going to teach English and you help me with my Mandarin. And that just led to like a lot of fun excursions, new friendships. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. And all my classmates there were actually from all over the world, and some were college students and some were professionals working in various industries. So I just got to learn about so much, not just Chinese culture, but why other people were in China to learn Mandarin and to learn the culture as well.
Well, that's a great plug for why everyone should do study abroad, no matter where you go for college. But while you were in college and maybe now, what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Oh, gosh. I would say cookies and cream.
I like cooking creams and dough. Favorite superhero?
Favorite superhero? I like Storm from X-Men.
Ooh, very strong character. And what is one super power you want?
Definitely to fly.
And what is one superpower you do not want?
Oh my God. I think if there was a superpower for being able to enhance your sense of smell, I probably wouldn't want that.
You just made me think about my husband when he farts. Yeah, that's not a superpower I would want either. Good choice. And let's talk about a great experience that you had at Lehigh University since you did graduate from the campus.
Yeah, so there's so many awesome experiences that I had there. It's hard to narrow it down to one, but I think earlier when you mentioned the United Nations and the opportunity that I had there, that wouldn't have been possible without Lehigh's partnership with the UN, which is super unique. And internships at the UN are incredibly hard to come by. Lehigh set me up with that. And it was through two different professors who got to know me as an undergrad who found out about this internship and were like, Morgan would be a great fit. instantaneously wrote me recommendation letters, connected me to who I needed to be connected with. And next thing I know, I landed this role that not many people even know about or have access to, because you kind of have to have that network. And that really led to my future positions in international education, because when I was with the UN, I was actually helping the UN to connect universities throughout Asia and the Pacific region to the Millennium Development Goals and get them on board with that. So I'd have to reach out to presidents and various administrators and help them get on board and then plan a conference for all of them to come to the United Nations. So it was a lot of work, but I learned so much, and I'm just so thankful for Lehigh and that experience. And that program has grown tremendously. So I'm kind of jealous there's even more opportunities at the UN for students now than there was, that was over 10 years ago when I was doing that.
Well, I could just imagine all the great personal gossip you must have of these national leaders, which I know you're going to keep top secret because I know who you are. You're a true professional, but that's the first thing that pops in my mind. But I love that you talked about the networking opportunities, because a lot of times I'll have people, we have a great career center, but it's about that networking, connecting the students, grabbing them. I've always have students through the years who graduate from college, love their experience, but then they're asking me, their old high school, hey, can you help me find a job? Do you know it? And I'm like, oh boy, so, and even from students who graduate from Ivy League schools and stuff like that. So it's really about the purpose and the focus of the campus and university. So thank you so much for bringing that up. But also, can you talk about specific examples how the mission of Lehigh University is inclusive and provides opportunities from faculty, staff members, and encouraging students to do the common good for others?
Yeah, so, definitely everything is centered around serving others and being prepared for the future, the issues, the problems, all of that. So everything we're encountering today, plus, what we don't know what might happen 10 years from now and how we may need to be serving others in that capacity then. And so, that includes helping our students to sort of foster like an entrepreneurial way of thinking when it comes to solving problems and also giving back. So thinking creatively and not being afraid of taking risks. And that goes for everyone, whether it's our students, our faculty, or our staff. Everyone's encouraged to really think outside the box. And I think that, when it comes to solving the world's problems or even the smallest problems, that's really beneficial, even across all disciplines. And then I think also collaboration is also really key, because we can only do so much as a single person. And Lehigh is all about collaborating to help others, to solve problems, and to learn from one another, most importantly, and share perspectives. And that's why we literally travel all around the world to recruit students who are fit for Lehigh, as well as faculty who bring these different perspectives to the table and different skills and areas of expertise that can, bring something different to the table as we collaborate and try to solve these problems and be prepared for the next challenges that come down the road 10 years from now as well.
No, and you guys practice what you preach, because you're also our partners with the Posse Foundation, who helps recruit students nationwide as well to become future leader and game changers too, as well. So that's something that's not every campus can say they do, and I'm really glad that Lehigh University does do that and encourage students to go above and, like you said, be risk takers. It's scary to take risk because change is hard, but if you want to make positive change, we have to take the right risk for the better good.
Exactly. And we're extremely proud of our partnership with Posse, and the three cohorts that we have recruited so far have been doing amazing.
Oh, fantastic. That's so great. Now, what makes Lehigh stand out compared to other campuses? Now, you already talked about the networking, helping people to be leaders of change from all different areas, collaboration. What are some other ways besides, I think, your guys' campus, because for people who haven't visited, I've never driven on a campus. It's like, when is it going to end? I was with my friend, like, when is this campus going to end? I mean, in a good way, because it was so huge. That's how it stands out for me. But what's something else that's more unique that people can't see from a Google map or a Google image?
Yeah, well, I think, the campus, as you mentioned, is quite large with a lot of green space, but is still very walkable, which you may not expect from driving around campus, and you do get used to those hills. But what I would say, I think it probably has a lot to do with those different perspectives and the people on our campus that truly want to be there and really love Lehigh and are very enthusiastic about it. And I think, if anyone out there knows a Lehigh alum or who has ever come across one, you probably were able to sort of feel that enthusiasm that they have for the institution that they attended. And that's definitely palpable within our student community as well, and the traditions that we have on campus. So you'd have to be there on a day where a tradition is happening, but one of the weeks where a lot of them do take place is Spirit Week on our campus, and we do things like race beds, which has been going on since, I think like the late 1800s when Lehigh was an all-male engineering school, and they would build these beds as a test to their engineering skills and race them down the mountain that you were driving on. And we still do practice bed races, but now it's on a flat surface and the students have helmets and the beds are pre-assembled versus having the students assemble them prior to. But it's just fun stuff like that that's been going on for, over 100 years now that's carried on. And really kept the Lehigh spirit alive and continues to bring our community together every year. And that's just one example of that.
Another good healthy tradition that I think has been practiced a long time is I did get out of my car and the deers just are all around you too. Like they're not too afraid, and it's beautiful to see. Like you said, it's like, oh, here's a building, and then there's all this green and stuff like that. But it's great that you guys keep practicing that tradition out there, because one of the biggest questions a lot of students have that's really hard to obtain, is what's the vibe and the culture of the campus. So can you speak about that vibe of that social life? Because just like a movie, if you look at a rating for Rotten Tomatoes, sometimes it doesn't rate the movie that well, and I know it's kind of hard because you guys work hard to be an eclectic campus, right? But if I'm there the first day of campus and everyone's settled in their dorms, what is some of the energy that I'll experience there and around town?
Yeah, so I would say that on campus, students have a pretty robust social life. And, I think most of the time they're not necessarily like settled in their dorms all the time. You get yourself settled, but then you're actually spending most of the time outside of your dorm room on Lehigh's campus, because on any given day, there's 30 plus events going on that students have organized, that clubs and also various offices and the university have organized for students to take part in. So I think our students find that there's just not enough time in the day to take part in everything that they would like to. And then, we've got the Bethlehem community, which you literally step foot off of campus and you can walk to about 20 different restaurants, all different types of cuisines, art centers, galleries. So I would say Bethlehem is kind of artsy and funky. Very focused on performing arts. We have a theater that hosts independent films, tons of indoor and outdoor concert venues. So